Welcome back to the Blade of Akai channel. This is a quick video around the teleports that can be found on A.R.I.S. We're here at the starting hangar, so we can start from here and kind of explore our way around. Straight off the bat, we can see here the A.R.I.S space station transit. This, I believe, takes us back to the space station. I haven't activated it, haven't needed to. But I'm guessing if you interact with that, it either takes you directly there or it acts like a teleporter. So the teleports are actually something called a tube system, and as you can see, it's a kind of entranceway going into a giant tube, although this there is an air gap. That's a little bit of asset tweaking needed there. So the issue is that the planet is significantly hostile enough that you can't use standard teleportation, and so you have to have this kind of giant tube system to get around the corrosive oceans that are around everywhere as well. So this is the first one. I think isn't registered by default, but I may be wrong on that. It's been a while since I got started here by this point. After that, you come through the Ironhaven headquarters, hit the televator at the back, and end up on the lower floor, the basement floor with the shops. This is the shopping mall, and here is another one that you need to discover. Is the Ironhaven main tube station. Now from here, we can go directly to the next one because it should already be registered on your map, because there is no way to get from this island, the starting island, to this island here. So I believe transit base Alfonso should already be on your map. So come to this tube station and then select that destination. And as you can see, we're here at Alfonso. There's a service center, and from here there is a road up on this level here, and you can follow the road around. And basically what you want to do is head over to hang on a moment. They're both called Alfonso, right? This one's, oh no, that's Bianca, right? Sorry, it was a glitch with the tooltip. Transit base Bianca is the next one you want to go and get. You're going to have to drive because there is no flying. So I would recommend bringing something like a strider or I think a spear or a lancer or something like that. Something that hovers. The hoverboard also works. Because this can help with how you get around. So come up over here and basically just follow the road around until you get to about this crossroads here, and then you want to kind of head down the sand and try and avoid any mobs and stuff as you go down there, and head over to this north beach to pick up transit base Bianca. I'm not going to go all the way over there because you guys can follow a road and you can follow the map and follow the sand that takes you to this this teleport here. It's not very challenging to get to, so I'm not going to cover it in any great detail. But what I will do is from here I will head down this road and show you how we get to the rest of A.R.I.S. You just follow this road up until where I put this marker here, and instead of going right and heading off to Bianca, we're going to go carry on straight over because this first bridge is out. It's collapsed, and we want to get to this second bridge here marked on the map. We're now approaching the waypoint that I set on the map, and here you can see to the left is the collapsed bridge. So we can't really get over there. However, with a hovering vehicle, you kind of can, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take you the way if you don't have a hovering vehicle, and we're just going to follow the road some more this way to get to the bridge, which you can see in the background there. Okay, so we've followed the road and it's bringing us directly to this bridge. Sometimes you can find it a little bit tricky to get on the bridge. It moans about being a non-vehicle zone. Thankfully this time we're okay. I think it depends on the kind of vehicle you're driving, and the last time I came over here it was in a pit bull. I do not recommend the pit bull. Despite having 6 wheels, it gets constantly stuck on the terrain, so bear that in mind. Hover vehicles for the win. Now, we've come to a main road, having followed the dirt road, and now we want to hang a left here to get to transit-based Delphine. Now we followed this road towards Delphine, we hit another crossroads, and obviously we can see the collapsed bridge again on our left this time. Well, it was on our left last time. So we're going to hang a right here. We don't want to go up the hill because that takes us to a bunch of robots. That's not the objective here. I believe there's another broken bridge out here. I haven't actually been down that way yet. I should go and explore that, but I'll do that another time. But what we want to do is hang a left here. And you can see now in the distance, this is a straight shot. There's no mobs in the way. Just follow the sand all the way down to the SC, and Delphine is the tube station kind of going into the waters down there. So now we want to get to the next one. So we basically want to go back the way we came, and basically start over from where we crossed over the first bridge. So I'll cut back when we've gotten there. Sorry, I meant to cut back when I got to the crossroads from the other bridge, but basically it's just back there, and you know, obviously instead of going left for Delphine, we've gone right, and we're just following this road here. We're going to get to kind of a triangle junction here in a moment. We don't want to go right because that takes us up to a robot base. We want to kind of keep following the road, the main road left. But we do have a challenge coming up, so I'll cut to that. Okay, we have followed the road on a bit, and now we find this kind of hauler sat on the road doing nothing. Unfortunately, what's happened here is a bunch of robots have attacked this, and it's now stuck there. What we want to do is get off-road, if we can actually drive. We want to get off-road, avoid the red dots a little bit. There's no red dots down here, so we're all good. And then we can just loop back onto the main road again. You could probably shortcut a lot of this, just cutting the road out. I haven't done that. I just tend to follow the roads because it's, you know, they're kind of self-explanatory. Sometimes there'll be a couple here and there because someone's just driven right through them and then dragged them further up the road. Typically they all sit around that truck though. And as you can see now, we're coming up on another bridge. So we want to go over this bridge, and when we do, we're going to go off to the right to our next base. The next one being Transit Base Edwin. Now this next one is a little bit trickier because there is no actual road to follow, and we now need to kind of go off-road. So we've just got over the bridge, we're heading off right. What we want to do is avoid these guys here. Spina Watcher Ascendants level 119, so give those a wide berth. Yeah, typically if you are driving a hover vehicle, they tend to be the chocolate fireguard of vehicles. 1 or 2 hits and you're gone. So again, keeping the red dots at bay as best we can. We want to actually go down this dip here. So you may need to kind of drop in a bit later on due to the mob spawns. We've got more mobs to our right. Up the hill there. Got another one directly in front of us. Probably been dragged by someone else that's just driven through the crowds. There's a downed spaceship up there. Hence the spinner. And we just keep heading over this way to the coast. I think we can drop down over here. Without any issues. And then we just turn right. Keep heading down the hill. Keep following the hills around. Keep turning right. And then we get a little ramp here. And now we can see the service center and what Edwin was called? Yeah, Transit Base Edwin. The tube station just sat down there. So from there, we'd have to kind of head all the way back out to the bridge because there's no real shortcut from here to get us back on track. So literally you have to go all the way back out to the main road again. Up here is kind of a really savage robot place, so if you don't have the skills or the armor, avoid it like the plague. As you can see, we've made it back to the bridge, so now we want to follow the road a bit to take us on to our next destination. What we want to do is avoid this area here because it's surrounded by high-level Defendrons. There's also a boss-level Defendron that hangs around here that's really fast, so you want to avoid that guy in your vehicle. So we're going to get to a triangular section here again. Yeah, I can't see him at the moment. Yeah, triangular section here. This way takes you on to that really nasty robot base up on the hill there. You can see the blue kind of, I don't know, energy field or something up there. Takes you all the way up there. Avoid in your vehicle. You don't need that right now. There's no teleports up there. However, there is a shortcut to get up there, but I'll cover that in another video. Okay. Now, someone, I think, has come across a large level 100 Mortar X Alpha here in their vehicle, and the vehicle is met with prompt demise. We want to give that a wide berth. They do have a reasonable aggro range, but it's not that severe. So don't be that worried. Now, I can't remember. I'm going to have to cover this pro rata in the video, but I think we can pop down through here to get to Steelrise, which is this area down here. Now it says Transit Base Cassius, but it's actually Steelrise, the city. But it's not really kind of open as a city just yet. I'll just dip down here and see if we can get across. I think there's a bridge just there. Failing that, we need to kind of go over the next bridge and then come around. No, there it is. There's the bridge. Yeah, we just come down this little hill. Now, sometimes there can be Mortar X down here. There's Defendrons just on the rise there. So just be wary of that as you come down here. If you die here, you should end up in Steelrise, which is covered by a large energy field here. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. This is the downside to using the hover vehicles, of course. They don't like behaving and going in straight lines. There we go. We made it across. We're just going to head into the Steelrise area and pick up where the teleporter is. Don't worry about the energy field. You can go right in, no problem. And there we have the service center. You can see it's come up with the Steelrise area notification, and the tube station is just behind it, I think, going into the water. There it is, just there. So yeah, it's Transit Base Cassius on the map, but this is essentially Steelrise. Now we want to go back out the way we came in. I mean, we could go up that way, but there are mobs up there. This is actually a safer route, so we're going to head back out this way. Now we're going to head over here again. Now, some are saying, well, hang on, you've got a hovering vehicle, why aren't you going in the water? Now, it's not always that straightforward, because you get this, vehicles are not allowed in this area business. And then you end up getting kind of stuck. It can be done in certain places, but it's not always successful. So we're going to pick that up. I'm going to run over the bridge this time, just because it'd be easier. And then we'll get back in the vehicle and head up the hill. And now what we're going to do is head down to Transit Base Freya. This one's a little bit more of a risky trek. From here on in, the teleporters get more and more challenging. So as we're going up the hill, we're kind of turning left a bit. We're going to kind of meet with the road, but we're not going to follow the road over the bridge. We don't want to go that way yet. Now this is where things get challenging, because we have a field of mortar wrecks that we need to kind of get around. Now the times I've come down here before, they haven't really been, they haven't really covered the entire area, so I might have to backtrack and find a different route for the video. Yeah, there's one right there. Essentially, we want to head down that way. Now, you may have to go at this a few times due to these mortar wrecks. Apparently, there's one down there as well. And this is where the hover vehicles come into their own. Especially the Strider, because you can make these kind of ridiculous climbs. The Strider is your true companion. Better if you've got the Mark II, because they're faster. Okay, I think we have aggroed one. Yep, we have. But it's a short throw to the revive area here. This shuttle that's kind of half buried in the hill. The other thing is the mortar wrecks are actually quite slow, and I'm managing to keep it at bay at the moment, even in the Strider Mark 1. So we get to here, there's a turret here, and we're safe. Come for it, bro. Come for it. Down you go, like a sack of spuds. Right. Now, we want to carry on up this way. And we're keeping the swamp to our left. There is a cryomucoid swamp to our left here. And you can see from the red dot on the radar, they are quite dangerous. So we want to keep away from those in our Chocolate Fire Guard vehicle. And we're just going to follow this kind of strip of green around... no, we're not going around there. We're just going down here, I think. No, maybe not. Get my bearings in a moment. Yes, it's to the left. We're going to go under this archway here. And you can see here we're on the kind of green ramp. And you can see in the distance we have the service center. We're going to go all the way down. Because from this one, we're going to take the teleporter back to Steelrise and begin our journey again from there. Now, if you do happen upon this robot base at the top here and you die, you will end up reviving somewhere around here. And it's actually quite a challenge to get from there to this teleport. I think you kind of have to go up this way, avoiding red dots. Coming around this way, you can fall into the water if you're not careful, and the water will kill you. However, you should, from this distance, revive at this station, but I have not tried that. So we're going to head into the tube station. This is Transit Bay Freya. We're going to go back to Steelrise, or Cassius, as it's called. Okay, now we're back at Transit Base Cassius, aka Steelrise. A little aside, my Strider ran out of TT value. So the whole segment I just recorded, I've had to start again. Basically, don't really head out that way. That's not ideal for you. You want to come out again, out this way. Now, instead of going out the one that we came in on for a second time, we should be able to come out this way and then go up that grass ramp. Now, I'm going to have to use my pit bull from here on in because, like I said, my Strider ran out of TT value. Okay, I've repaired the good old pit bull. I'm going to head out in that now. I'm going to head up this grass ramp here. I'm already seeing a red dot, but there is a green dot right next to it, so hopefully we can just snook by without any issue. That person's dealing with a Magma Kuma veteran. What we want to do is just get to the main road from there. The other way would have taken us the other side of the bridge, and we would have actually had to sneak past some mortar wrecks. So we want to avoid that, really. So that's a kind of cleaner route up to this road. So yeah, we want to follow this road and avoid the mobs either side. Fairly chunky level 95 Magma Kuma ascended over there. Veterans over there. So yeah, just thread the needle here, keep things off the radar a bit. The Magma Kuma aren't too aggressive on the aggro. Not too bad. And what you'll come across is this situation here, where we're blocked from getting across due to lava flow, and the other side has got volks. Now I think the right way is going up this way. Yeah, and then we immediately hang a left when we get over here because we're dealing with Volks again with massive aggro range. Just hug the lava flow on the left. Okay, we've got a problem here. This is what makes this bit challenging. Because really what we want to do is get to that bridge, that lava bridge up over there. But unfortunately, we've aggroed a mob. Get out of it. And I don't think we can get up that incline. So we're going to have to reverse course here. Now, to be fair, what we can do from here is actually just, I think we can just die, because we should end up at the revive just over there. That's a hard no. We've ended up at this one, and I ended up here a minute ago, which is a bit of a pain. Okay. Well, this is another way to do this. If you don't make it across that bridge, I think you can probably get down through the lower lava bridge that I looked at, but I'm not sure about the density of the spawn over that way. But what you can do is from this outpost here, right opposite this island, which I'll cover in another video. What we can do is we can get our pit bull out, and instead of going the obvious route over there, don't do that, because there's a load of Iraniatrox providers up there, and also some ascended Volcreptus. What we want to do is head over this way instead, and we'll hug the side of this mountain. Like so. Take in the view while we're here. What we want to do is just be careful. We need to thread the needle here a little bit. Because we can get the odd red dot just up ahead here. And what we want to do is just drop on the side of this hill. And head over this way, avoiding the field of Iraniatrox just over there. And they expand on up the hill here. They're all providers. I don't think I've seen anything other than a provider up here. There might be something interesting up there, but I need to explore that another time. So yeah, we want to avoid all of the sea of Iraniatrox up there, and we just want to head kind of slightly down the hill. Obviously, this is easier in a hovercraft, because you can see this massive all-terrain six-wheeler can't get up a slight incline. Something wrong with that. We're doing damage to it. Just trying to get over a little dip. Okay, and things can get sideways pretty damn quickly. Well, we got saved by the no vehicle zone there. Wow. So be careful as you go down that hill. I'm going to have to kind of walk over this way a bit and respawn the vehicle. But essentially, you want to go around the backside of the volcano. I'm just going to pop it out here now. Again, just be careful. Slowly is the ticket, really. I was going a bit too fast up there, and that's why everything went really sideways. Too much rubber banding. Get no control. Here we go. We'll get down onto the beach again, and we'll just head down this way. And what we'll do is we'll head to Hedwig, transit base Hedwig, instead of going directly for transit base Gannon. the road kind of takes you that way. It's actually quite dangerous going that way, and this is probably an easier route. So if you die up with those Volcreptus, you end up at the outpost down here, and then we can just sneak around the back of the volcano for an easier journey. It's not without its challenges, as you'll see in a moment. And here they are. Elite Fireroids. And now we're stuck. We're gonna have to just get around this bit of water here. Now we've got a problem. This regent is a little bit far out, so I'm not sure we can sneak past. However, at this point, we should be reviving at Hedwig. We should be reviving at Hedwig. Yeah, there's another one right down low again. Now, that is something I'm going to say about A.R.I.S, is that there's not enough kind of safe routes. Oh, I went too close to the water there. Too close to the water. But essentially what we want to do is head down this way, and you can see there's a lava flow that's cooling off here. Unfortunately, you still get burnt. What you can do is track back up there for this lava bridge. But you will more than likely encounter more of these guys, and maybe even husklings as well. Now, unless you've got a really good FAP, you're not going to make it across here, I don't think. Even though it's cooling, it still attacks you. You slow down. There we go. I'm slowed. I'm lucky that I have a decent FAP and I can heal out of this. But if you die here, you should end up at Hedwig. It's close enough. You should be in the right spot. And we'll just get over this rise and we can see Hedwig. Okay, we're back in the pit bull. And we can head over this way. There is Hedwig, the transit bay, tube station just down there. Now from here, it's a little bit more challenging, and this will more than likely take a few attempts. You may have to try and kind of tidy the spawn here, but basically we head up through this gap and we want to kind of hug the wall to our right and get over this way as best we can. Now this is the challenge, because there will be mobs around. Yeah, elite scorchers. This is the problem. Now, if that's a struggle, what you can do is head up into the hills from here. But you'll probably end up having to do that mostly on foot. Let me just have a look the other side, see if we've got a clear route for the vehicle. We head the other side of these guys. Do we have a gap? Goodness sake, with this rubber banding. We don't really have a clear route. And try and gun it. Not enough power. Okay, we made it up that little rise, and now we're into Fireroids. These are big ones again. 112 commander. Let's see if we can kind of sneak past him without him aggroing. Oh, stop getting stuck. You've got 6 wheels, for goodness sake. Yeah, this is a nasty area. Just try and gun it through here. But like I say, if you get stuck, try and head over to the hills instead, and kind of go around this whole thing by climbing the mountains. Gonna drop down here. Whoa, we're dropping down right on them. That's not good. Maybe we get away with that. We're faster than they are. I think we got away with it. Now we've got some Verderons. These guys are easy to kind of drive around, really. They do aggro, but they're slow. So as long as your route is clean, you should be okay. And then once you kind of get through that little area there, you are fairly clear, because they tend to stick kind of over there. They don't tend to be over here so much. So we can get over this little grassy knoll here. And there is Gannon. And once you've arrived here, you have all of the teleports. Job done. All the ones that I know of, at least. So if you find this video helpful, please give it a like. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. And I shall see you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.